Well, good afternoon. I hope you had a great Christmas, or as good a Christmas as you could have. And as we enter the last days before New Year, I'd like to wish you all a happy New Year. But as I said in my last VT, what I'm going to go through is the stuff that I'm going to wear on my feet. And that's going to be from the approach routes all the way up to final base camp, and then on the ice from high camp to the summit, hopefully up the glaciers. So it's important to look after your feet. The trek is some 20 days long, so you're going to be on your feet for quite a lot of time. So first of all, you've got to look after your feet. You've got to make sure that your toenails are cut. You've got to keep your feet clean, and you've got to keep your socks dry. Weather patterns change over there, so you've got to have plenty of socks or a means to clean the socks that you've got. Now, what I've got here, first of all, a pair of liner socks. I'm going to take two pairs of these. They're great. They're Pro Trek liner socks. They're going to keep your feet quite warm, and they can be worn underneath other socks. The idea of having two pairs is, as it gets cold at night, I'll probably wear a pair of these inside the sleeping bag. And I've got a pair of these, which I'll keep dry and nice clean for summit night, okay, which I can wear underneath my Gore-Tex socks, which I'll show you in a bit. Okay, so a couple of pairs of them. They're very lightweight, weigh nothing at all, and they can be stowed away inside a boot or inside a training shoe or whatever. The next type of sock I've got is your normal everyday trekking sock. I'll be taking several pairs of these. You want to make sure, first of all, that they've got no holes in them. That's quite important. And that they're a good fit, they're clean, and also that the heel from the heel upwards is long enough to go over the edge of your boot. What you don't want that is tucked inside your boot where it'll slide back down again. So several pairs of these. Again, you've got to look after these if you're going to take a sewing kit so you can darn them if necessary. But generally, several pairs of these to keep your feet nice and warm. Okay. And finally, for the summit night, I've got these little bad boys. I wouldn't say little because they are quite big. These are triple layered Gore-Tex socks. Now, normally you can wear these with any boot in any conditions, and they keep your feet dry and warm. But with temperatures that could drop down to -30, even in one of the boots, the boots that I'm going to be wearing, if I couple that with a pair of these liner socks, there's no way my feet are going to be cold. So if you do suffer from cold feet, it's very important to make sure that you keep your feet dry and warm, because that could mean the difference between summiting or not. And it has been told that people who haven't worn the right boots have actually lost a couple of toes. You know, I like my toes and I want them to come back with me. So very important to make sure that the socks you've got are good, they're clean, they're in a good state of repair, and they're practical for the journey that you can be taking. Right, going on to footwear now. First of all, pair of flip flops. These can be worn around the tea houses on the approach route. You can either take them or a pair of Crocs. Simple, lightweight, can be stowed away. Don't take up a lot of room. Again, with the Crocs, you can fill the toes for them, for the socks and things like that. But they're ideal because once you've finished part of your trek, you want to take your boots off, allow them to get some air, and you want to be able to stretch your feet. So if you have to walk anywhere, like go to the loo or anything, or even in the rare attempt that you might get a shower, then um, a pair of flip flops or a pair of Crocs would be ideal. Right, next thing I'm going to go on to is the boots. Now, for me, my approach boots, just a normal pair of trekking boots, which I've recently purchased. They're a bit damp on the outside because I went out in the snow and everything yesterday. But these are a Gore-Tex boot. They're quite high on the ankle, which is ideal. It gives you stability for crossing those rocks. They're very lightweight and they're great. They're comfortable. You can almost take them straight out of the box and put them on, and they don't take a lot of wearing in. Like I say, they're lightweight, they're versatile, they will keep your feet dry. And I've been out in some really bad weathers with these, and my feet have been really, really dry. And they're comfortable to wear. They don't weigh a lot, and they're ideal. And these I'll be wearing all the way up until we get to the glacier. And finally, I'll be wearing these on your approach route. These are a plastic boot with a liner inside. I'll take that out of there. That's the liner inside, triple layered, very practical. That's going to keep your feet warm, and these can be taken off and they can be put inside the tent on the night time. Your plastic boot won't be allowed inside the tent, but these can be put on and then they can be put inside the boot. Now, these weigh in at about 1.5 kilograms. Okay, so they are quite heavy, and one of the most important things that you have to do is train. You look at all the leaflets, they tell you to train hard, get strong, make your legs strong, not just your lungs, but your legs. Because if you're going to be wearing these 1.5 kilogram boots with a crampon, which is going to take you up to 2 kilograms per foot, that's a lot of weight to be trampling up on the ice. And you could be wearing them for about probably 8 or 9 hours on summit night. The good thing about this boot is that they've got a snow gaiter here, and obviously with the warmth, with your liner sock and your thick mountain sock or your Gore-Tex socks, you're going to be quite warm. What I'm going to do now is go on to the crampons that I'm going to use with these. Now, this is the crampon that I'm going to be using. It's a Petzl, it's ideal, it's easy to function, and it's easy to know whether it's the left or right. I've got the adapter here on the front, which is going to clip on the front end of the boot here. Now that's quite important. This did come with an alternative, which I could have perhaps fitted to another boot, but with these, the heel tabs and everything like that, it wouldn't fit my normal approach boot. So I've got a pair of these, and the easy way of putting these on is that you would simply do that. That'll come across there like that. You put the heel tab on, and there you have it. It's simple. Obviously, once you be careful because they are sharp. Obviously, that will go around there, and as you tie that to yourself like that, you can then readjust that, tuck it away somewhere so it's nice and easy to come off. And then when it does take time, or when you do have time to take it off, or you have to take it off, once you've undone the strap, all you've got to do is to pull on the heel tab and it'll come off. The good thing about these, if I take the boot off, is they tuck right down like that, and they tuck away nicely, and you put them into a little bag like that and stow them away. So these are just under 1 kilogram, no, half kilogram each foot. 1.5 kilograms, so that's 2 kilograms each foot. Now, on the way back down, because of the route we take, on the way back down, we have to go over what's called, I can't remember what it's called now, it's a rocky outcrop, it takes you back up to over 4,000 meters, okay, where you might need crampons. Quite generally, there is snow there. So what I'm going to do, rather than carry those things, I've got a little pair of these. Now these weigh less than 0.5 kilogram. You've got a front and back on these, and all you do with these, you slip that bit over there. And it's important that you're very, very careful with this bit here because it is elasticated. Pull it down and slip that over the back of your boot, like so, and then do any adjusting you've got. It is important, however, to make sure that when you're putting this on, you don't pull it like that and pull it towards you, because if you do and this comes off, it's like you smack around the chops and it'll make a mess. Tell you that for nothing, because crampons are designed to be sharp and they're not designed to go around your mush. So just be careful with that. Again, they sit on there nice and comfortable like that. You've got a little Velcro strap here, which you would then put round here, like that, Velcro that, and that'll keep your foot nice and firmly on the ice. Again, like I say, don't weigh very much, and they're ideal. So that means your other crampons for your summit boots can be put away and then ported down by the Sherpas. So basically, that is it. It's important to make sure that your feet are kept in good health. Keep your feet dry, keep them warm, and make sure that your stuff that you put on them is the right stuff. because last thing you want, cold feet, losing toes, which could ruin your summer attempt. Well, I hope this has been helpful. The next time I do a video on equipment, it will be the stuff you put on the old ponts. And when you've got a sunroof like this, you're going to need warm stuff to put on it. Okay, so until that time, have a good new year, and I'll see you in 2021.